All right. Hello and good morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you're listening to this prophetic word. I'm here to give the prophetic word for December that I have received personally, and I pray that it is applicable to you. God has been giving me some amazing, amazing corporate words, and so I believe this one is corporate as well. And it's going to add to what we had from November. So if you didn't get to listen to the November word, I want to encourage you to go back and listen to that and October. So it started in October. So October and November were both powerful words. And I want to encourage you to go back and listen to those. Now, as for December, God is saying, prepare for breakthrough. Prepare for it. He said, the opposition looks strong, but I am strong in you. I'm going to repeat that. The opposition looks strong, but I am strong in you. He said, continue to push forth, pursuing and recovering all. That's what we talked about in November. He said, continue. He said, don't stop. Don't stop now. Because it's time for us to break through. He said it's time. Last month, he said it's time to go and cross over the Jordan. So all of those things that we didn't get to recover before, it's time to recover those things now. And he said, wrap up old projects and create a clear timeline for what's ahead. He said, he said, build in time to prepare. So the word for this month is prepare. Prepare. Okay. And so last month I talked in my coaching, I talked about 4 P's that if you want to know those P's, then you got to join our coaching community. But he is adding the 5th one as prepare. And so I'm sharing that with you all. Prepare for breakthrough. And preparation, when we take that into consideration, we need time built in to be able to do the work, to do the planning, to do the prep work, right? It's required. And so he had me look up the word preparation. So in the Hebrew, it's lehakin, lehakin, all right, lehakin. So Lehakin, or it's Lehikion, lehikonin. So I may be pronouncing those incorrectly, but it means to get ready, to prepare oneself, to prepare a place, and to prepare a plan. So I was reminded, and this, I felt, and I'll share a little bit, I felt like I wasn't gaining a clear direction. And I felt like it was kind of staticky. And so as I started praying into, and he reminded me that it's all about community. And so I got clarity in community in my leadership class that I went to this week. They were talking about this transformed mind, and the teacher gave a beautiful explanation around these Ugg boots that one of them had gotten dirt on it, and she tried to clean it, and the stain actually got bigger and it made it worse. And it was a beautiful illustration of how if we try to handle things ourselves, we can make a bigger mess. But if we take it to God, that he will transform our mess into a message, right? And our test into a testimony. So why am I saying this? Is because here's the thing. We've been given a message. We've been walking through tests, but it's time for us to take that test and that mess and turn it into a message. Okay, guys, thank you. You guys see real time. You guys can see what my home looks like with my twins. But I want to say this. Recently, I had a car accident and my vehicle was totaled. What you don't know is that there was one day I backed into my vehicle has had a lot of scrapes, a lot of dents, and I honestly, towards the end of it, God has been preparing me and positioning me and repositioning me. And towards the end, I started feeling embarrassment to drive my vehicle, and I would always back it in because I didn't want anybody to like, I didn't want it. It just felt like it was off. Something was off, right? And so through this, I ended up like kind of backing into the like fire hydrant, and it left a hole in the back bumper. And so I was going to take it and replace it, and all of these things had to be done to enough. Thank you. All of these things had to be done to the car. Come on over here. Thank you. All of these things had to be done to the car, and here's the thing. What God started showing me is that it is inevitable that as we're preparing for breakthrough, the opposition may look strong. See, I was in this accident and it left my body with some limited mobility, and I've been going to chiropractic appointments and whatnot, and I'm getting ready to start physical therapy and all of that. So it left a significant, physical. There was some bruising on my lung and those kind of things. But I'm standing here. I'm sitting here. And so the opposition may look strong, but here's the thing. He is stronger in you. He is more powerful in you. And as it starts to stir up in you, as the gift starts to stir up in you, that it'll come forth even stronger, regardless of what that opposition looks like. And it can propel you. It can position you for a greater acceleration just by virtue of that opposition being there. See, my children are not a hindrance. My children are my testimony. The accident is not a hindrance. It is propelling me forward into who I am becoming. The thing that you have experienced that you feel might be holding you back might be the very thing that you are called to speak to. And when you learn to look at it through God's eyes and see it through his perspective, then it can start to propel you forward and position you forward. So as we're preparing for breakthrough, remember that the opposition may look strong, but he is stronger in you. And so I'm not going to give, there was a whole Bible story I was going to share and all of that. I'm not going to do that right now, just for sake of time. And this isn't supposed to be a super long word. But I will say that I was reminded of 1 Chronicles 28 and 20. 22 years ago, that verse was given to me and my husband. And it says that David also said to his son Solomon, be strong and of good courage. All right. This is, I'm reading now, this is like the new, the kids version. So it says, be strong and brave, get to work. Don't be afraid. Don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. The Lord God is my God. He is with you. He won't fail you. He won't desert you until all the work for serving in the Lord's temple is finished. And I am leaving you with that scripture that as you prepare for breakthrough, remember that He is with you, that you will not fail and He won't fail you, because there's a purpose, there's a plan, there's preparation that needs to take place in order for that breakthrough to come. So don't shy away from it. Don't shy away from the pain just because it feels painful, or it feels off, or it feels odd, or it looks like it should look some kind of different way. But what if the package is being disguised on purpose? What if it looks different? It has different packaging than you're used to, because this is the strategy. What if He's switching up the strategy so that it can go in undetected to give you just enough time to position yourself for that breakthrough, so that when He says go, you get to charge and take the land. So be encouraged as you go forth, and as you go in, take and recover all, as you pursue and recover all, prepare for that. Okay, we talked, excuse me, in closing, we talked this morning in our coaching community about a lot of things. But one of the things that we talked about that I want to share with you all is that there is, if you've been on the battle lines, if you've been on the battle lines for a long time, there is a need for rest. Okay. And so we are going to be doing, we actually did this, I want to say last year, but we are getting ready to start doing a rest challenge. And this year, we're going to add to finding rest. We're going to unpack it. So I'm excited about unpacking rest, because it's so important for us to be able to know, what do we do in that time of rest, right? And so how does that look real time when you've got real obligations? How do you work from a place of rest when you've got real obligations that you are requiring things of you? It could be your kids, it could be your job, it could be your business, it could be a number of things. But when these things are happening in your world real time, and you're being called to rest, how do you do that? Does that mean that we stop everything, drop everything, and just go lay up in a bed? No, I want to encourage you that rest is an active word. And that doesn't mean we keep doing it stressed. But Matthew 28-30 tells us how we rest, how we come to Him, how we follow Him. And we're going to explore that on a deeper level later this month. So if you want more information into that, send me a message, send me a DM, comment below, let me know, and I will put you on the mailing list. Send me your email, and I will make sure that you get on the mailing list, so that way you can know when we're starting. And in closing, I want to say this: if you've been on the battle lines for a long time, and you do not take that time to rest, it will progress. And it can turn into PTSD. Because here's the thing: battle fatigue is real. And severe battle fatigue is a real thing. So if you've been experiencing symptoms like extreme exhaustion, irritability, emotional numbness, inability to focus, depression, anger, physical reaction like headaches and trembling and whatnot, if you've been experiencing any of those symptoms, you are experiencing some battle fatigue, honey. And that is a real thing. It's combat stress reaction. Combat stress reaction. And it can be acute combat stress reaction. And it's another word, in other words, shell shock, right? It's different than PTSD, which is a long-term situation. This one is short-term, and it's a short-term response to trauma that improves significantly within a few weeks after leaving the combat zone. So it's not irreversible, but here's the thing that you need to know, that if you do not take some time to rest and do something about it, it will progress and it will turn into PTSD, and you will have long-term effects that you'll need to deal with. So it's better to deal with it now while you're still experiencing those symptoms in the beginning, in the forefront, than to do it and wait. So as my final encouragement to you is prepare. Prepare yourself, prepare your mind, your body, your spirit, prepare yourself. And that starts with rest. So come join us for the rest challenge. And remember that you have the ability to reclaim your radiance one moment at a time. And it starts with you. Not only exploring who you are in your authentic self, but taking the time to infuse rest. So I hope this message blessed you. If it did, share it with a friend, share it with someone you know that needs this message, and come join us for the rest challenge. Stay tuned for dates, and I am looking forward to joining with you and working from rest. Have an amazing, amazing rest of your day. You want to say bye? All right. Have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll talk soon.